Hello, my name is Gus. I'm a customer service employee with the City and County of San Francisco's Office of the Treasurer and Tax Collector. I'm here to help you file your 2017 gross receipts tax and payroll expense tax online. This video is designed to assist San Francisco residential landlords. Residential landlords, or lessors of residential real estate in San Francisco, must file a return every year if they lease 4 or more units in an individual building. Each individual building is treated separately, and each should be registered with a separate business account number. We've created a simple online filing experience for residential landlords. But before we begin, it's important to have all your information available. The letter you receive from our office has your 7-digit business account number and 8-character online PIN. The online PIN is formatted with both letters and numbers. You will also need the last 4 digits of your federal tax identification number. For sole proprietors, your federal tax ID is usually your Social Security number. For some residential landlords, the last 4 digits of their business account number is recorded as their federal tax ID in our system. To begin, go to www.sftreasurer.org. Select the link File Online Gross Receipts Tax and Payroll Expense Tax 2017 Annual Return to access our informational page. This page has important information for the filing, including instructions, links to the Gross Receipts Tax and Payroll Expense Tax Ordinance, and the filing due date. Please read the information carefully. When you're ready, enter the filing by selecting the Annual Filing button. Scroll down to the bottom of the screen and input your 7-digit business account number, last 4 digits of your federal tax ID, and your 8-character online PIN. Click on the Save and Continue button. Once you've entered the filing, there will be some general information on the form. Starting on the top left, you'll see your business account number, business or ownership name, and a code for internal use. On the top right, you'll see links for the instructions, technical assistance, and a button to exit the filing. Across the top of the screen, you will see chevrons that show the 5 major sections of the filing. The chevron in blue is the current section you're working on. The chevron in green indicates a section you've completed. And finally, the chevron in gray is a section that hasn't been accessed. You may go back to review or change information on a section that you've completed, but you must progress through the form sequentially. On the bottom of the screen are buttons to navigate forward and back, as well as an image charting your progress. The filing begins on page A1, Business Identification, where there are 2 questions to answer. Did the business have taxable business personal property in San Francisco? Select yes or no to answer. For example, my building has a business personal property, so I will answer yes. Throughout the filing, if you need help on how to answer a question, click on the question for additional information. Remember, please answer all questions according to your business. The next question asks for the average number of weekly employees for your business. My building doesn't have any employees, so I will enter 0. Select Save and Continue. The question on page A2, Filing Questionnaire, asks if you are filing as a lessor of residential real estate. Select Yes if residential rental and leasing is the only business activity related to your business. In my case, I will answer yes since my business activity is only as a residential landlord of a building with 4 or more units. Select Save and Continue. On page C1, Payroll Expense Tax Filing, input the number of employees as of the last day of the tax year, as well as the total San Francisco payroll expense for those employees. Since my building does not have any employees, I will enter 0 for both fields, and select Save and Continue. Remember, please answer all questions according to your business. On page C2, Payroll Expense Tax Filing Summary, the return calculates the payroll expense tax that my business owes before credits. Since my business did not have payroll expense in 2017, I qualify for the small business tax exemption and I do not owe any payroll expense tax. Select Save and Continue. Real estate, rental, and leasing services is automatically selected as the business activity on line 1. On line 2, you'll enter the number of leased units, and on line 3, you'll enter the total gross receipts for your building. For my building, I lease 8 units, with total gross receipts of $200,000, so I will enter that now. Line 4 asks if your units are rent controlled. For this example, my units are rent controlled, so I will select Yes. Selecting Yes will calculate a 50% exclusion of gross receipts, which will lower your gross receipts by half. But please remember to answer all questions according to your business. The system will automatically calculate your gross receipts tax obligation before credits at the bottom of the screen. Line G. Select Save and Continue. New for 2017 is the Quarterly Payments page, which displays quarterly prepayments made throughout the tax year. This page will display payment amounts and dates the payments were received in our office. The quarterly payments are applied and credited toward the 2017 gross receipts tax and payroll expense tax obligations. Residential landlords with less than $1,090,000 in gross receipts and less than $300,000 in payroll expense are exempted from having to make quarterly estimated payments throughout the year. Select Save and Continue. The Obligation Summary page summarizes the information provided in the filing and includes both the payroll expense tax and gross receipts tax obligations calculated on the previous screens. This page will also include all quarterly estimated payments that were made throughout the year, as well as any penalties for any late payments. The total obligation due under line 13 is the amount owed for your 2017 gross receipts tax and payroll expense tax. In the event that your quarterly payments exceed the total obligation due, the return will display a box regarding the overpayment. You may select to apply your overpayment to a future obligation or select a refund to have a check mailed to you. Lastly, there is an option to designate up to 3% of your tax liability to the Community Challenge Grant Program. This designation does not increase your tax liability. Select Save and Continue. Read the taxpayer statement and finalize your filing by entering your name and contact information. When you are ready to submit your filing, select the Submit button. The email address you input on this screen will receive a copy of the return. You can also view your filing data on this screen. Be sure to allow pop-ups. Once the confirmation screen appears, the return is submitted. Select Continue. Please note, after you have submitted your filing, you will have to log back in and select the Amend option to make any changes to your filing. On this page, you can access payment options, download a copy of your return, or select an email address to send a copy of the return. To pay, select Payment Options to access the payment portal. Select GR 2017/04 from the list in the payment portal, and select your payment method at the bottom of the screen. You may have other obligations due that you can also pay at this time. If you are paying by e-check, select that option and input your bank account information. If you are paying by debit card or credit card, select that option and input your account information. Convenience fees will apply. If you are paying by check, select Print Payment Stub. Make sure to allow pop-ups on your web browser. Print out the payment stub and mail it with your check to San Francisco Tax Collector, P.O. Box 7425, San Francisco, California 94120-7425. Congratulations! Your 2017 Gross Receipts Tax and Payroll Expense Tax return is now filed and paid. Thank you for taking the time to learn about filing your annual return.